Well, hello there, and this is Auntie. And I am here to do my review of 90 Day Bears All on Discovery Plus. Harris tells it all, and you need to know about it. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. To all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family. And to all of my nieces and nephews who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. As I told you all last week, I brought Discovery Plus just in case you can't afford it and just in case you just don't want to. But I figured that I will bring out the most interesting stories and I will let you all know about the tea. So anyway, on last night's episode, or either, I think it was Sunday night's episode, right? They had a new episode to come out. I had not had an opportunity to look at it at all because I decided that last night I wanted to go live with my members. And so we all sat together in a membership live yesterday. Thank you so much for joining the membership. Welcome to the family, Real Love. So, the members and I, we sat together last night and we had a discussion about, different things. And one of the subject matters that I wanted to talk about was Stephanie. And I had came to them with my idea of what I thought had happened between Stephanie and Harris and Ryan. And boy, was I right. So members, that's another one that we check up on the list. Where Auntie was absolutely right because this episode gave it to us all. So this episode of 90 Day Beers all started off with Ed. I absolutely was not interested in Ed at all. He came out there and he was, he thought that he was Ed Alarchi. I guess he thought he was Liberace and he played on the piano and serenaded Sean Robinson. I wasn't impressed. And then as he began to talk, I began to fast forward and just, slide that little ball across the screen until I got to the point where I saw a familiar face, and that familiar face was Ryan. Ryan was looking very fine, okay? Fine. He had his afro blown out. He had on a nice little purple shirt and everything. He was giving life, okay? He was giving GQ. He was giving Vogue. Hold on, y'all. Something just, ooh. Okay. So he was giving life. He was giving Vogue. So I was like, okay. He, showed up in his Sunday best and everything and, decided that he was going to tell his side of the story. So Sean began to ask him, she played, of course, the tape with our girl Stephanie confessing and him laying in the bed, not really caring about anything. And so, of course, Sean says, well, how do you feel or whatever, whatever. So he began to go down and talk to us, okay, because I was in the room, like I was on the other chair. I wasn't sitting beside Ed. They had brought me out my own chair. And so anyway, he was talking about he don't bunk with his cousin Harris anymore, right? And so he was indicating that he blamed Stephanie because Harris could not have gotten in contact with Stephanie had she not given him her information. That's a duh. So Ed began to tell him that, when someone is taking care of you financially, you know, that you deserve better. And I'm thinking, so why didn't he have that same respect for Rose? He called himself financially taking care of her and her father and sending gifts down there that never showed up, and so what's good for the goose is good for the gander. He cared nothing about Rose. He wanted to demean Rose and just treat her like some, dumpster trash. And yet, and still, he sits there and tell Ryan his self-worth. Like, Ed, give me a break. Like, ugh, you just a gross individual. In my opinion, I'm just not impressed with you at all, okay? And I'm so glad that I get to be a content creator out here on the YouTube streets, and I get to say what I want to say and tell it like I want to, and I ain't got to kiss nobody's tail to do it. I ain't got to, I just, I love the liberty of being able to be my own self, because these people got to do a whole bunch of in order to keep their little position with the network, and they ain't making nothing. But anyway, so I digress. We're going to move on. So Ryan, begin to, they asked Ryan, why is he still in a relationship with her? And he kind of gave a little kind of look, and he said, I don't know. So basically, he is still, at that time was still in a relationship with Stephanie. And when he gave that little look, his little look was, she's still paying my bills up in this motherfucker. I mean, common sense, she's been paying his salary. She's been, she was Santa Claus and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, she's literally, in her words, taking care of him and his family. And so they asked him, had he been talking to Harris? And he was like, no, and I never will talk to Harris. And so, Sean was like, well, I want to let you know that we have Harris here. And so, of course, he was looking like, what? And she said, we have a videotape that I want you to see. And this videotape was about Harris. And so Ryan had already told Sean that he was not talking to his cousin, and he had no intention on ever talking to him again. But, them being shady the way that they are shady, they went on and tried to put the tape on, and Ryan leaned forward and hit that button, and he was gone. So Sean was like, we lost Ryan. And I'm thinking to myself, Sean is a very intelligent woman. Why didn't she know when she got hung up on? Like, I don't understand that. Why did she always say, we lost this person? No, he hung up. He leaned forward, he pushed the button, the phone dropped, and he hung the hell up. You know when you're getting hung up on. So anyway, they decided, they're going to try to get him. They were unable to get him back on the line. And so guess what? They played it anyway. And so we see Harris. Harris had a show enough story to tell. Y'all get a little bit closer. Let's just get right up in each other's face, shall we? I see you, you see me, and we see each other. So Harris decides to tell his story. So they're like, hi, Harris. He's like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? So they was like, tell us about Stephanie. How did you meet Stephanie? So, right. Hold on. What's going on, Mary? Okay, you put the Cash App out there. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who has been Cash Apping me. You know who you are. Thank you. So Harris decides that he's going to tell and spill the tea. So Harris indicated that the two of them met each other at the same time, which is what I told my members. Members, remember I told y'all? They met at the same time. He said that she was a very fine white woman and that she was beautiful. He said she had, pretty hair. Okay? So he said that, they began to conversate and everything, and I guess she must have taken to Ryan. So they were all, sitting around at the hotel and everything and having drinks. And I guess it had already been established that Ryan was going to be her pick of the litter and that Harris wasn't. So, they were all sitting around and just, chit-chatting. And she's in Belize and the wind is blowing through her hair and everything. And so Ryan gets up and he goes to the bar to collect drinks. And when Ryan goes to the bar, she goes over. She gets up out of her seat and she walks seductively over to Harris and she says to Harris, hey. He says she flipped his shirt up and said she wanted to see that body. She wanted to see that chest. And he was like, oh, you want to see my chest? You sure that's all you want to see? So she was like, I want to see your chest because you're nice and strong and you're building. You have muscles. You're not all skinny like Ryan is. And so he was like, okay, you know. So he said she was looking at him, and he was looking at her, and they were looking at each other. And he was extremely interested in her. But Ryan was the one that seemed to be able to talk the draws off of her that night. And so, Harris said that every time that they were around each other and everything, he was just like, hey, I'm really interested in her. He said he want that, he kept using the P word. You all know what that is. It ends, starts with a P, it ends with a Y, and then it has sometimes you have a cat behind it, but he kept talking about that that's what he was going to get. So he said that the night that, Ryan and them were having some problems, he said that old baby girl Stephanie had called him on the phone. Oh, yes, she did. She called Ryan on the phone. But before she did that, the two of them had been texting back and forth the whole entire relationship. See, she had her eye on both of them. And she said, but since I'm a tourist, I can have my fill of the land. And this is just one of those amusement rides for me. So the two of them, kept in contact, and he said that Ryan did not know how to treat her well, and that, and so Sean asked him, well, what do you mean that he didn't know how to treat her well? And he said, well, he didn't know how to cuddle up to her, and he didn't know how to embrace her when she was going through things. He just wasn't a good boyfriend, and plus he was drinking and doing all those kinds of things, and so, whatever. But at the end of the day, Harris, he was doing 4-hour duty, boo. Okay, he was on duty for 4 hours with that booty. But anyway, so he says that the night of the incident, the night that they got busy, he says that Stephanie had caught Ryan texting another woman. She got mad and put him out of her hotel room. She threw the phone across the room. His phone across the room, and put him out. And then she picked up the phone. Where my phone? Where my phone? Hey there, Harris. How are you? Ain't nothing. What's going on? Well, I just put Ryan out. You want to come on over? He said, yeah, I want to come on over. Okay, we'll be here 9 o'clock sharp. 9 o'clock sharp. So he said, oh, will your lipstick be smudged or will it be intact? She said, honey, I'm going to let you smudge it. Okay. So, he was like, okay. He said all day long he watched his watch. Thank you so much to Tracy and Shanta for my bracelet. But he said all day he watched his phone because he was anxious to get to it. He said, you know what, you're going to end up, doing the whoop whoop and the boop boop poop with her tonight. So he said 9 o'clock he was there. At attention, bitch. He said, she said, you're looking good. He said, you're looking beautiful too. So he was like, she was like, I really want to see your body. And he was like, you just want to see my chest? And she said, yeah, I just want to see my chest. He said, oh, you sure you don't want to see something else? She said, are you kidding with me, Harris? He said, no, I'm not kidding. And the only way that you can see it is if we go up to your hotel room, Stephanie. And Stephanie said, oh my God, but are you really serious, Harris? And Harris said, yeah. Now, this is the woman that sat up there and said that she was crying and, she was distraught, and Harris came over to save and to rescue her. Oh, hell no. So anyway, so he says they go up to the room and everything, and he says that, she pulls up his shirt so that she can see his hot, strong, muscular body. And so, she got the rubbing all on it and everything, and just telling him, how he looks so statuette, and he just, looked like one of those gods from one of those romance novels and everything, except for it had nappy hair. But he was like, I don't mind a little bit of nappy hair. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. To the all natural. So he said, you sure you don't want to see anything else? And she was like, oh, I think I do want to see something else. He said, are you sure, baby? She said, oh my God, Harris, yes, I'm sure. So Harris said that he bust out his pants like it was just, one of those pants that just break away. He said he was anxious and he was hot, and he said first she was talking and talking and talking. He said, and then it went boom. The next thing you know, his pants was down around his ankles, and they were just ripped up off of him. And Stephanie was like, yeah. And he was like, I want some of that. I'm getting ready to hit that. I'm getting ready to hit that. I'm getting ready to hit that. He said, I said to myself, oh my God, I'm really about to do this. I'm really about to get some. He said, I was so excited. I was so excited. And Stephanie was just looking hot, and he liked her blonde hair, and she was just slinging it and slinging it and slinging it. And just slinging it to him. And he just was like so excited. He said, oh, I'm about to hit it. Okay. He said, I want some of that. 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 And so he said he got some. And he said he just couldn't believe that he was just falling himself. He was just finding himself falling and falling and falling. And he just became weak. So they asked him, well, what about your cousin? Did you feel like you was wrong? He said, no. He said, he's my third cousin. Now, Ryan, when he talked about Harris, he said that Harris was trying to be with Stephanie so that he can get his money right and he could be able to take care of his family. He said that this was the reason why he was attracted to Stephanie, because he was trying to get his hustle game in with her. Now, when asked, he said that Harris said that his dream is to get that cat one more time. And I mean, when I say he was putting emphasis on it, he was putting emphasis on it. So the two of them are on their money game, okay? It's who plays all. So, Ryan said that he was just giving it to her, and he was just, he was giving it to her, and he was just making mad passion and love to her, and, she just, they were just on a cloud and everything, and he was, good. So she said, well, let me ask you something. If you were so good, Harris, why should you go back to Ryan? He said, I guess Ryan was better. So she asked him, did the family know anything about it? He said, no, the family don't know nothing about it. The family don't know Jack. He said, but I guess they're going to know now. Because he had been trying to keep it a secret that he was messing with Stephanie. So the whole thing about it is Stephanie had her two men. She was stretching that, making that money stretch and work long, honey. Long and hard. But I don't think that Harris, as sexy as he thinks he is, was doing 4 hours. I don't think he was punching in and punching out correctly. Okay? So anyway, she goes on to talk to him about, the relationship with Stephanie and why he's not with Stephanie and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, and, what he's going to do when the family finds out about it. And he says, I'm going to come to you. So Sean was like, wait a minute, what? What? Who you talking to? He was like, I'm talking to you. I'm going to come over there and be with you. He said, give me that phone number. Give me that phone number, Sean. Give me that. Sean said, oh, no. Sean, straight street hood rat vocab came out. She did a Sarah on him. First, Sean was sitting up there. She was like, yeah. So, what will you do, when your family finds out? Well, I'm going to come to you. Oh, really? He's like, yeah, give me that number. She said, oh, no, you won't be getting my number. Not number. You won't be getting my number. Oh, no, you won't. Sean said, oh, no, you won't. Cut his task off. It's time to cut this mofo interview. Cut that task off. Ed was sitting there like, woo, 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 woo. So Harris, as I said to our members yesterday, Harris was looking at her from day A, and Harris said she was too. They had already known that he was going to be the default guy. Point blank and to the period. And so we see that on next episode of 90 Day Fiance that there is trouble in Belize. And that I believe that Harris is going to bank up on this. While she is still yet there, Harris will be squeezing the lemon and making lemon tarts, lemonade, lemon bread, lemon everything. He's going to be squeezing that lemon called Stephanie. These two men have fell out because Ryan said that he is a backstabber. The thing about it is it's rather embarrassing to Ryan. With as much stuff as he doesn't feel for her, because I totally don't believe that he loves her, and I don't believe she loves him. As I discussed with my members yesterday, I don't believe that they love one another. It's a matter of control for her and a matter of United States for him. And that's why he laid in the bed and told her, I forgive you. He don't forgive her. Because he said Harris would not have access unless she wanted him to. And as Harris said, she had been texting him the whole time. Plus, Ryan, she didn't even have... She has such little respect for Ryan that she probably screwed. Thank you so much for the super chat. In the same exact hotel that he works in. Remember when he was laying in the bed and he made the statement, he said, I knew a lot of people at the hotel. So I knew what went down between you and Harris. Harris alleges that during this night that Ryan was at another hotel drinking. So what? It still did not give you a right to sleep with Stephanie. Third cousin or no cousin. But when you got to feed the family, he said, I got to do what I got to do to feed the family. So y'all, next, hopefully the next time we will be talking about Brittany and Yazan. I'm really going to sit down and take notes and bring this all together. This has been going on for weeks on Discovery Plus. 90 Day Biz, it's been continuously going on, so I wanted to gather all the information so we can sit down and have a comprehensive discussion about this couple. Thank you so much for the membership. Who is that? Thank you, C-Jam. Thank you, boo. So this has been going on for a minute. Welcome to the family, y'all. It's been going on for a minute and for a while. It sure has. Members, we have a date tomorrow. We will be out tomorrow talking. And let me tell you, if you don't come in on time because of the sensitivity of some of the information, the video will be taken down. So you got to make sure that you turn your notification bell on so that you are notified when I go live. The content that we will be talking about tomorrow will not require me to have to take the video down. But when I am sharing private, personal information or my thoughts on something, I will take the video down. So I did have somebody reach out to me. It was like, Auntie, I can't get in. You couldn't get in because once we go live and we talk about it, some of the videos we happen to take down, okay? Because we don't want everybody in our business, right? Right. That's what the membership is for, okay? So make sure that you have your notification bells on. So, y'all, this is the end of this review. I thank you all so much for being here. Again, I have purchased Discovery Channel Plus so that you don't have to feel like you have to, okay? I will be making sure that I bring you the information that you can use, okay? Yes, I will. So anyway, thank you to everybody who super chatted. Thank you so much to Mary who has kept the chat safe for everybody to enjoy themselves. And until next time, y'all. Love you.